April is Autism Awareness Month, and joining me today to help us learn more about the disease is Dr. June Groden, the founder of the Groden Network, and Dr. Jane Carlson from the Livingston Center. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
I'll tell you what, autism is actually a lot more common than people even realize. What are some of the statistics on autism?
It's now 1 in 110. When we started our program, the Groden Center, which was in 1976, the prevalence rate was 4 in 10,000. Now, 35 years later, 1 in 110.
Wow, so it's actually a lot more common than people realize.
Yes, and people are calling it an epidemic.
Why don't you explain the Groden Network to us?
It's a continuum of services throughout the lifespan. So we start with early intervention children between the ages of birth through 3. Then we have academic programs, school programs, vocational programs, adult programs, residential, crisis intervention, respite programs, vocational, I mentioned that, and we have a charter school also.
Why don't you guys tell us a little bit about the intervention that goes into the program?
Well, all the interventions are very individually designed to address the issues that each child with autism brings to the table. Kids with autism have a lot of commonalities, but they also are very different in terms of what they need for behavioral and educational intervention.
What do you see when the family comes in, and how the families are affected by that? How do you guys help handle that?
Well, when families first come into the system, often they've just received the diagnosis when their children are very young, and they're often very concerned about what to do. They obviously want to do the best thing for their child. So a lot of it is educating them about what's out there, how to best help their child, how to put that child on the path to
You mentioned
doing well.
Educating them. Are there signs some parents should look for early detection?
Absolutely. June, you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yes, when the children are very young, sometimes they don't cuddle the way a typical child would. They don't engage the parent when they get a little older. For example, if they're playing with a toy, try and get the parent to look and see what they're doing. That's something they call joint attention. Those are kind of the red flags that we tell parents to look for. Often speech is delayed, but that can also occur with some typical children.
Okay.
So it's hard to make that diagnosis when they're very young. They're now starting to look at children, and they can diagnose about the age of 18 months, 18 to 2 years of age.
So it can be detected very early then?
It can be, and the earlier it's detected, the earlier you can initiate treatment, which is incredibly important. So if a parent sees one of those red flags, they should talk to their pediatrician.
Now there'll be a fundraiser that our own Karen Adams is going to be hosting. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
That's called our Seaside Reception at the Dunes Club. It's June 18th, and we have Karen Adams. We're so happy to have her. And also Morton Dean, who was a foreign correspondent. And so they're both going to act as hosts for us.
And again, the date was June 18th?
June 18th.
June 18th. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Guys, for more information and to learn about autism or the Groden Network, visit our website, foxprovidence.com.